Right, so let's learn to connect with our TAs. We can strengthen those muscles, these super important muscles that act like a corset around our stomach and our lower back. We can't strengthen them until we learn where they are and we learn how to switch them on. So because we perhaps haven't used them in a really long time and they are perhaps being lazy and not switching on, for some of us, we will literally have to teach our brain where they are, and it might take some time to connect with them and to learn where they are and switch them on. And we've got to learn that connection before we can strengthen them. For others, it will be easier. Some people will be able to switch them on straight away. It's just a case of strengthening them a little bit. But whatever it is for you, it's okay. If you find this bit really hard, as some people do, then it's all right. Like, be patient with yourself. Take the time to carefully do this, because it is going to benefit you for the rest of your life. So if this bit, this learning to connect, takes you a week, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, it doesn't matter, because you're learning it to support you for the rest of your life. This bit people can find tricky, and if you need some help with it, give me a shout. I'm more than happy to give you one-on-one help and to support you through connecting with your TAs, okay? If you have had a cesarean section, you might find connecting with your TAs harder than if you've had a vaginal birth, because you have been physically cut through. These muscles have had more trauma, so it might be harder to switch them on. Whereas if you've had a vaginal birth, you might find it easier, but then you might find switching your pelvic floor muscles on harder. So that it does differ depending on what birth you've had with your baby also. Okay, so to connect with your TAs, find yourself on the floor. So you know the position, adopt the position. It's always good to practice connecting with your TAs laid down, because these muscles here are going to contract and connect with them, and by laying down, you're allowing gravity to help you connect with these muscles. And then once you've managed to do that lying down, it's handy to then practice standing up, because the idea is we're going to be able to connect with our pelvic floor and our TAs whilst exercising and moving around. So you need to be able to do it stood up. But start lying down and then progress to sitting, sitting and to standing, being able to connect with them then. Okay, so find the position, your feet flat on the floor, your knees slightly apart, and neutral pelvis. Super important to have neutral pelvis. It makes it so much easier to switch on your TAs. You can find your TAs through your clothes or straight onto your stomach, whatever is best for you. If you're having trouble feeling with them, it might be worth trying to find them under your clothes. So these muscles are, as I've said before, like a corset all the way around your stomach and your lower back. But the easiest place to feel them on the outside, because they're quite deep muscles, or to feel them on the outside so we can practice the connection and work out if we're connecting with them, they are just here. So what you need to do is find your hips, your bony bits here, and you're going to go in a little bit and down a little bit into this little kind of like crease here. And that is where you're best going to find them and feel them connect with your fingers. So you're going to put your fingertips just there where I've shown you, and press a little bit in just so that you can get to that muscle. This is a muscle, remember, so it's got to get through the layers to the muscle to feel that muscle connect. Okay, now we have got to do the connection with that muscle and our fingers. We want it to connect and switch on. So remember, we're always doing this on the out breath, and we're going to do it with our pelvic floor. So when we breathe out, we're going to lift up our pelvic floor, and then we're going to add in these TAs. So think of it as a wave from the back of your pelvic floor to the front of your pelvic floor. Now this wave is extending to these lower abdominal muscles here that are under your fingers. When you breathe out and connect with your TAs, there's a few things you can think about. I'm going to tell you a few little ideas of things to try because different things will work for different women. So imagine you've got your bony bits here, and imagine there is a piece of string holding them together and pulling them in. So imagine you want to get these muscles to pull in these hips, pulling it inwards. Another thing to think of are these muscles here, and you're going to draw them in and down towards your spine. So these lower muscles, draw them in and down, okay? And another thing to think about is maybe like a zip, so you're like zipping this bit up, this lower muscles here. So really think, as you breathe out, connect with the back of your pelvic floor at the front, and then continue that wave up to here, okay? And feel that under your fingers. So we're going to try that a few times on the out breath, okay? So take a deep breath in, remember your ribs. As you breathe out, back of your pelvic floor to the front of your pelvic floor, and then add in your TAs, what's happening under your fingers, anything, and relax. If nothing happened under your fingers, don't worry, that was your first attempt. We're going to try a few more times. Really think about those muscles under your fingers, see if you can make them connect. Okay, take a deep breath in, and breathe out. Back of your pelvic floor to the front, and add in those TAs. These muscles here with your fingers, connecting, and relax. And again, breathe in. And again, breathe out, connect back of your pelvic floor to the front, and then add in the TAs here. Okay, and relax. Relax, nice. Okay. So, before you can move on, you need to really learn that connection. You want to be able to switch on your pelvic floor with your TAs like that really quickly, easily. You need to be able to switch that full wave on before you go forward, before you go on strengthening, before you can do anything else with your core. You need to be able to switch on. So this is where you stop in this program and you practice and practice and practice. It is better to practice small amounts often than it is to sit practicing for ages, getting really frustrated. If you can't do it, just kind of try a few breaths, leave it, come back, try a few breaths, leave it. Whenever you're like, manage to get laid down on the floor, just have a go. First thing in the morning, when you go to bed, just as often as you can, practice that connection.